All right, so today I'm going to show you how to create a mail merge in a publisher document. What you're seeing right now is a label that I created in Publisher. Um, this is something I might use on my students' folders. And so I left a blank spot here where I want my students' names to go, but I don't want to have to write out each of my students' names on each of their folders. So if you look at your tabs at the top, you're going to go to the Mailings tab. You're going to click on the arrow where it says Mail Merge and go to Step by Step Wizard. That's the easiest way. If you've already created a list before, then you would go to use an existing list, but since you're probably watching this because you're new to it, you would type a new list. So if you click there and then click Next, it's going to have you type your list. Typically, I only do first and last name. I don't add any of the other things because I just don't need to. So let's give some names. So let's say Amy is her first name, and Johnson is her second name, is her last name. Then new entry. Let's do John Doe. Let's do another new entry. Let's do, let's see, Eric Wilson. Oh, let's do, I'm just doing names that are popping in my head that I don't even know anybody with these names, but let's do Lori Smith. Okay, and so you just keep doing this, adding your students' names until you're finished, and then you click OK. And then it's going to want you to name your list. It automatically puts your list in your data sources. So you can see I have some old classes in here, a couple of tests that I did this year, just to try out to show people how to do it. So I'm just going to name this flipped class list. And I'm going to say save. And then it's going to open it and show me that all of these people are checked. You don't have to include every student. So you might be printing something out that only pertains to a few students. You can uncheck the ones you don't want it to. For this, I'm going to have them all. So I'm going to select it here and I'm going to say OK. And now it's going to ask me, what do I want to include? Because if I had typed in more information than just first and last name, I don't always have to merge all of that information. So I actually do want it to do first name and last name. And notice as soon as I click that, this box appears. You can stretch your text box, which I'm going to do. I'm going to make it smaller because it doesn't need to take up that much space. I'm actually going to click and drag over it because I can change my font. And I'm going to make it something cuter. Let's see, I got some. Yeah, that's not bad. There's my. Like this one. All right, and then I'm going to change my size a little bit. Make it a little bit bigger. And last name, first name, nobody's name is going to be that long, so it won't take up this much space. I'm also going to make sure it's centered so that it will go right in the middle of that line wherever I want it to be. I'll lower this just a little bit. All right, then I'm going to hit Next, Create Merge Publication. Now notice right now it's still showing me first and last name. If I go over here to Print Preview, now I can see all of the students' names are listed in there, and it'll print one per label as long as I have it set to multiple pages per sheet. I could print a whole sheet of one student's label if I did multiple copies per sheet, and you'll see what looks different. So now this would be a whole sheet of Amy Johnson's. Notice there are 4 pages. There's one for each student. So it depends on what your purpose is for printing. This, for this, I'm going to say, whoops, wrong box. I'm going to click here. I'm going to say multiple pages per sheet, which just means multiple students per sheet, really. And then I would print, and I'd have each of the kids' names in. Now I can do this to any document I create at this point. I can use that same mail merge list that I just created on any document I create in the future. All right, thank you. Bye.